They take pictures of you as a convict from different angles, take fingerprints, make you take off your bra in front of a bunch of men so that they can make sure that you don't have tattoos with national symbols. They ask in detail what you and your entourage think about the situation in Ukraine. Then they monitor all social networks. They opened VK website of my friend, found a photo of 10 years ago in traditional vyshyvanka shirt and called her a Nazi. However, she passed the filtration process. Resident of Mariupol on Twitter.
This is just one of hundreds of thousands of stories of Ukrainians who had to go through the so-called filtration. According to the US mission to the UN, more than 1.5 million Ukrainians could have gone through fear, humiliation and violence in Russian filtration camps.
Russian authorities have interrogated, detained, forcibly deported between 900,000 and 1.6 million Ukrainian citizens from their homes to Russia, often to isolated regions in the Far East. And I want to be clear, the United States has information that officials from Russia's presidential administration are overseeing and coordinating these filtration operations. And we're further aware that Russian presidential administration officials are providing lists of Ukrainians to be targeted for filtration and receiving reports on the scope and the progress of operations.
For the so-called filtration, the Russian occupiers use online databases, face recognition equipment and biometric data collection. They also track and monitor mobile phones. The work of Russian filtration camps in Ukraine is closely monitored by the Putin's administration.
The United States has information that officials from Russia's presidential administration are overseeing and coordinating filtration operations. We are further aware that the Russian presidential administration officials are providing lists of Ukrainians to be targeted for filtration and receiving reports on the scope and progress of operations.
For today, it is known that more than 20 filtration camps operate in the territories of Ukraine temporarily occupied by Russia. As a rule, they are located in schools or other institutions that are not adapted to the long stay of a large number of people. The number of such filtration points is constantly growing.
Places for the so-called checks, illegal detention and torture of civilians can be both jails, for example colony number 77 in Berdansk, Zaporizhia region, and general education schools, as in the village of Novovoznesenivka in the Kherson region. The residents of the newly liberated Vysokopilya tell about it with horror. A filtration point was also created in Jankoy, on the territory of the temporarily occupied Crimean Peninsula. Dmytro Lubinets, Verkhovna Rada Commissioner for Human Rights, on Facebook.
According to human rights activists, many residents of the temporarily occupied cities are forced to undergo filtration. Those who passed, they get a certificate, and those who are suspected of pro-Ukrainian thoughts, cooperation with the Ukrainian military or the authorities are detained, and they are sent to prisons in the occupied territories or to Russia.
Very often people are detained. They arrange a fake trial on fake charges, such as the fact that a person showed disrespect to law enforcement agencies. They are thrown into the basement. And during this time, while they are sitting there, the Federal Security Service works with them.
According to human rights activists, a third of those who do not pass the filtration go missing. There is also information that some of them were mercilessly killed by the Russian invaders. Reported by Serhiy Kulyas, Vlada Tsurkan, UATV News.